And basketball, too.
Yeah.
Basketball is coming.
Yeah.
And people are already talking nasty about Jonathan Kuminga.
They're
already talking nasty about Kuminga. I don't really want to get into it because I just think it's enough. It's reports about him not working hard or, Stephen A. Smith. Here's what Stephen A. Smith said. Here's what Stephen A. Smith said about Jonathan Kuminga. We'll get right back into the Giants.
I'm worried about Kuminga. I'm hearing too many things about him off the court in terms of his head, the level of discipline that he lacks. You understand? Mm-hmm. Some of the foolishness. I'm not getting in this personal business. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm talking attitude. I'm not talking actions. I'm saying that attitude, the level of focus, commitment, determination, just putting your head down, doing the work. I'm hearing that he's shortchanging the Warriors in that regard, and he got to get his act together because I'm a Jonathan Kuminga fan.
Just saw him playing in the World Cup out there in Africa. Had a hell of a weekend. I don't get why the shade towards a 19-year-old. You think he's going to be as disciplined as Stephen Curry? Of course not. He's 19 years old. He's trying to figure it out. Can't even legally drink yet.
Yeah.
What?
Well, I'll share my thoughts on Kuminga in just a second, but did you see what else Stephen A. Smith said about the Warriors?
No.
Well, he said later on in First Take, and we don't have the sound here, so I'm just going to have to do it. The Golden State Warriors. They're going to win it again next year. Back to back. That's what he said. Back to back. So let's at least acknowledge that he has high hopes for the Warriors going into next season.
Right.
But I do think there's something there. Like Stephen A. has grown very close with the Warriors. Joe Lacob, everything going on there. So I actually do buy into what he says. Back to back. But the thing that I'm going to be focusing on, though, is during the regular season, what happens? Like, during the regular season, if Kuminga looks like he's dogging it, I don't know. Maybe it looks like he's not conditioned the right way. If there's something going on with his game, I am going to go back into that time in August and then think, well, they did say he's not that hard of a worker or something like that. Then maybe we could use that to try and get some sort of explanation as to why he's maybe not playing as well as we want him to during the regular season. So I'm not going to put too much stock into it right now.
Yeah, I'm not putting no stock into it.
But maybe later.
I'm not putting any stock into it.
Back to back.
Had a great weekend in Africa. Not a three-point shot. I think he shot 28%. But he got to the free throw line, made 18 of his 26 free throw attempts. So he's getting better from a charity stripe. He's getting to the cup. He's giving you 17 a game. He was a leading scorer on the Cameroon national team. He's 19 years old playing against grown men.
Yeah.
This is why we didn't bring it up last week, Langford. Because we all thought on the morning roast that, you know what? All right, we'll wait till training camp to see it. These questions will be asked during training camp, and we'll see how hard he works. I'm not worried about Jonathan Kuminga. I'm still as excited about Jonathan Kuminga as I was when Shasky and I drove up to the California Classic last year.
If there is no way that he turns into a hard worker based on playing with the Warriors, I mean, you mentioned it already. What do you think is going to be Steph Curry? No one's going to have that.
19 years old.
It's really tough to have that work ethic.
Right.
But when you factor in Jordan Poole, like whenever Bob Myers joined this station weekly, when he was on the show weekly during the basketball season, hopefully it's going to happen again next year. When Bob was on here, just talking nonstop about how hard of a worker Jordan Poole is. Draymond Green did the same thing. Mm-hmm. So when you got those guys to live up to, like, I think Kuminga is going to go into this season like, all right, we won a championship, but my role is going to increase.
Right. I think he's excited about that. Why would he want to work? That's a great point. Why would he want to work when he knows he's going to get extra playing time next season? And he's been around these champions, and he's learned by not playing in the playoffs. That makes a player hungrier. This guy left Africa and left his parents to come to America to try to make a living. That takes a lot of hard work. The sacrifice that takes. I'm going to leave mom and dad. I'm going to leave my country, and I'm going to go to New York City to make a name for myself. He's a top 10 pick. I think he's going to be hungry. And then in his first ever international competition, 17.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, couple assists, and a steal. Shot 66% from the floor, just 23% from three, 24% from three. He's got to work on that, no doubt about that.
Well, I like that 5 rebounds number, though.
Yeah.
I want to see him get better at rebound. I know Steiny talks about that all the time. Steiny talks about, and he's right. Kuminga does need to be a better rebounder, especially going into this season.
Right.
Luckily you had Kevon Looney rebounding like a madman throughout the playoffs. So I actually go back and watch that ending game against the Grizzlies. Anyway, but Kuminga does need to improve on that.
Yep.
And defensively, like, I remember seeing him in the playoffs in the limited time that we did see him. I saw it felt like it embodied who Jonathan Kuminga was. Right. It was a play on one side where Ja Morant, when it felt like nobody could stop Ja goes to his left, Kuminga with the footwork, stops him from even trying to attempt a shot. Ja just passes it away, right? I've seen that. But then on the other side, you see him get on the other side of the court, then he gets the ball in his hands, then sometimes there's a lot of, indecision. Where do I go?
Yeah, he's got to work
on like Trey Sermon behind the line of scrimmage.
Right.
It's like, where do I go? A lot of indecisiveness.
No doubt. No doubt. First playoff run. He's got to work on his ball handling as well. His handles are not as tight as it needs to be. Mm-hmm. But come on. Kuminga, are we really crushing this kid? Who's crushing this kid? I didn't even know it was a story till yesterday. I'm following everything with the Warriors, obviously.
Even if Jonathan Kuminga isn't that hard of a worker,
now all of a sudden,
Warriors are winning the championship next year.
We're believing Screaming A. Smith.
Back to back.
Are we really putting stock in what Screaming A. Smith has to say because of the relationship with Joe Lacob? Come on, man. I want to get a couple calls here before the injury report. Real quick, Doug and Berkeley, then we'll get to Robin. By the way, Bonte Hillstand has tweeted out the Lil Baby documentary is so good, man. That's my stand right there.
What?
Lil Baby has a doc.
Lil Baby has a documentary already?
That's something we'll get to later in the week. Documentaries are jumping the shark. Everybody has a damn documentary now. Everybody. Come on, man. Doug and Berkeley, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. Couple things. On Kuminga, a lot of players coming out of, college or at his age, are making it on ability. They're learning in the NBA that they got to really work hard. I wouldn't worry about Kuminga. At least I give him a chance. Don't start knocking him yet. Yeah, so as the Giants go, I don't think we're missing 5 players. We're missing one key player who, because of his personality, his understated personality, maybe we didn't realize it. We're missing Buster Posey. Guiding the pitchers, managing the game, controlling the game, a solid bat in the middle of the lineup, just spreading, his presence just made everybody better. There's no Buster Posey coming down the road. I understand that. So we're going to probably need a couple of guys. But it's not this panic thing. We need 5 guys. It was hard to appreciate because of his personality, how valuable he was, how valuable one guy can be to a team. I think that's what we're missing. Thanks for taking my call.
Anytime, Doug. That's a good point about Buster. Real quick, Robin in the city. Robin, we got to go real quick. We got about 50 seconds, Robin.
Oh, God, so I can't say it in 50 seconds, but I do want to say that this conversation about Jonathan Kuminga was brushed up upon a while back. JD and I, or someone was discussing it, and I think I don't put too much stock into Stephen A. Smith, but I do think there's something there about Kuminga's attitude and his ability to think that he's got it, right? Because he didn't have to work hard. So comparing him to Jordan Poole, comparing him to Draymond Green, and to the like, or even Moses Moody, who have to work, it is a kind of an unfair comparison there, not really a good analogy. So I do think there is something there in terms of a wake-up call for him, that his natural ability, athleticism comes natural, and that's all he needs. I do think there's some arrogance there, and there might be a little bit of truth into what Stephen A. Smith is saying.
All right, Robin, thank you for the call. We'll get to that in a little bit later. We got all week to get into Kuminga. I didn't know there was this smoke. Come on, he's 19. He's came back in a rookie. We're already taking this guy like he's been in the league for 5 years. What are we doing? How bored are we?